We are now. Good morning and welcome to healthylife.tv. My name is Paul Bursey. I'm speaking from the Principality of the United Kingdom.
Principality?
Well, I'm sure we are owned by someone. Nothing is as it seems.
As it seems.
So, also with me is...
That much is clear.
Are you going to introduce yourself, young man?
I'm going to introduce myself. Sorry.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hey, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening from a sunny Hungary. Warren Conley is here in the house. So let's talk about being selfish, shall we?
Yeah. Is it selfish to put your health first? That is the big question. So there's lots of little offshoots from this as well. But I think the emphatic answer is no, it's not. It isn't selfish. However, I think if we're going to use an example, I would use the example of the nuclear household, where you have the man goes off to work, and I don't mean to be sexist anyway, but the man goes off to work and the lady does all the work, and then we can play about it after that. But yeah, we can change it all around and do it the other way around. But just for the moment, just for this example, okay. And to me, we're gonna try and base everything on the overworked female, because they always do work harder than us. Okay, which we all agree. So okay, but when we get down to it, there's all different types of you have two women together, two men together. There's kids there. There's no kids there. So we could be talking about anything. But just for this example, all right. So why is it no? And it could go either way, obviously. You cannot help anyone else until you help yourself. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I think that's if we really want to condense it and make this podcast short and sweet, that's the crux of it.
Oh, we can go home now.
Yeah. You really can't help anybody else unless you help yourself, right?
Yeah, that's right. I mean, look, life at times is utter chaos. Other times it's quite orderly. Mm-hmm. But let's take the utter chaos first. Look, I remember years ago, not so much now because I live on my own, and all my family's over there.
That side.
Yeah, that way. And I was extremely busy. I mean, there are days when I used to work 22 hours. And of course, if I'm going to work 22 hours in a day, which wasn't that often, but it leaves everything else at home. Mm-hmm. Okay, so now you can see what I was talking about, about the female being there fighting on their own, and everything. So busily juggling stresses of life, juggling work and other things like that. So that's what we're sort of looking at the moment. It's hard to put your own health first. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, it is. You've just kind of covered it now. There's other responsibilities that appear to be more urgent and more current than our own health. So we tend to take, we tend to see them more and more as more important than our own health. For example, as a mother, a stay-at-home mother that has got kids or without kids, obviously if you're a mother you've got kids, but a stay-at-home mother, she may put a lot of priority on the kids and picking up the kids, dropping off the kids, taking the kids here, taking the kids there, feeding the kids, cleaning the kids, doing all kinds of stuff for the kids. So she then is left with very little time for herself. If a woman's going to take time to herself, what is the most likely scenario that it's going to look like? If she's going to take time to herself, it might be a nice book to read, or a massage, or a manicure or pedicure, or both, something like that. Something that is, there's no thinking to be done about it, but to look after her health, that's going to be a different question altogether.
Yeah, I think I looked at it like this. If in my days of bringing up children and things like that, well, I was very, very rarely there, I've got to be honest. So mine was evenings and weekends and things like that. But
which is like most fathers, Paul.
Yeah. If I went down ill, would it make a big difference? And I obviously had to say probably yes, because it would, my partner or wife or whatever would have to look after me as well as everyone else. So that would be the difference there. For me personally, probably wouldn't so much. For a fully fledged parent that is there, on the ground, in the trenches, doing it every day, yes, it would make a hell of a difference to them.
Sure.
Because they are the ones who are the proactive ones they're in there working with the kids and everything else, and if they go down, it's no good. Okay. So I think one of the biggest things is awareness of where you are health wise, right? If you're that person who's really at the helm, at the captain of the ship type of thing. So, and that's not necessarily the person that's out working. All right. So would you agree that we'll use that as an example, as we said earlier, about the mum being at home. Should she pay attention to her health?
You're asking me a question now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Should she pay attention to her health?
Most definitely. I mean, and the way I look at it, it's for multiple reasons. Let's say the primary breadwinner, i.e. the husband, the father, does get sick or something does happen to him and he can no longer work and bring in the money that he brought in, then the mother may need to look at how she's going to start bringing money in. Okay. And if she's already stressed out and overwhelmed by everything else going on, imagine what it's going to be like now with the added pressure. And if her health is not in check, then how is she going to be able to assess the situation correctly, maintain her standard of health so that she doesn't get sick and pick up some kind of condition herself, and that she's there to look after the kids and take care of the kids and the family and the husband potentially. So yes, most definitely. And the other side of it, of the way I look at it, is that as the mother, and the same applies for the father, it's regardless of whether you're a stay-at-home dad or you're a stay-at-home mom or you're working or not, whatever. It's an example to set for your children if you're looking after your health.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I was going to come to that, but yeah, definitely be seen to be doing the right thing is also important as well, because people, especially kids, they follow a lot of what you do.
Yeah.
It's a shame they don't follow all what you do.
Well, they do really.
They do up to a point.
Interpretation of how they see you doing things in life.
And until the age of 13 or 14.
Yeah, then they know everything, right?
Then it gets really interesting.
And that's fantastic.
So does this mean that if you're ignoring your partner or your family or your children, if you're being little bit selfish and putting your health first, does it mean that you're ignoring them? I don't think so. I think you can play with the hours that you've got.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And there are a lot of hidden seconds, minutes, and hours in a day.
Oh yeah,
that we can sometimes waste. So, but I wrote a little thing here, and it said you can't fight the saber-toothed tiger if you're unwell. So, and that sort of goes back to thousands, 80,000 years ago when you had to make sure, and it was the men then, but you had to make sure that you were fit. If you didn't, you died. It's as simple as that.
Well, it's not just the men. Then there's a lot more evidence coming out that women was much hunters as the men were.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yes, sorry. But the theory wasn't it, that the man
went out and found the food, and the woman was at home.
Yeah. But I mean, I'm not into that, because I know lots of women who are better than men, much better. So I've got no problems with men and women, things like that. So but
you don't have to explain yourself, Paul. We all know.
No, I didn't want people to get the wrong idea. I mean, some of the best people I worked under at work were women. So definitely. So now think about your own personal typical day generally. Okay. It's full of things, isn't it? All right.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Now, most people are always on the go. Okay, if they're in a real working household, and sometimes they ignore to do some of the things that they should be doing. So, and they put themselves last. So, should anyone do that if they're the mainstay at home, or mainstay anywhere, really?
Yeah, I mean, that's a tough one, because with this one, you're asking somebody with potentially with a paradigm of thinking that they should always put themselves last, especially as a parent. And if they got more than 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 kids, it's difficult for some parents, I think, to be able to see that there is an alternative to being the last one that counts, because, and this what happens here, what often happens, I see happen in this kind of scenario is that either you have a parent, whether it be a husband or a mother, a father or a mother, that is totally dedicated to their children. And I've seen fathers that are like that. They're completely dedicated to the children, and that's all they really see value in, is that's their life purpose, is to be that parent for those children. But then on again, there's always a flip side to the coin, right? And on this other part of the spectrum, you've got the parent that does it because they see it as their duty. And this is where it can become potentially toxic for that individual and for the children, because the children will pick up that it's mom's duty to look after me, as opposed to mom's looking after me because mom really wants to look after me. And they then take it for granted, and they take advantage of their situation. Like, I just look at my own personal history, and then I look at other people around me, and I see everyone else's examples, and I look and I think, well, this is the typical signs. This is how I see society in general, is that kids will grow up feeling the fact that the parent thinks it's their duty to do this and put themselves last, and that parent then becomes the doorstep. And then after a period of time, that parent, no matter how noble you are, no matter how strong you are, eventually you're going to become resentful. Eventually it will creep in somewhere. The resent will come, and then when the resent comes, the toxicity comes with it. And this is when we become really sick, and we carry that burden that we've carried all our lives as a parent, because we feel that it's our duty. And we discount our own health as a result of that. We don't look after.
And that's what we're trying to avoid. This is exactly what this is about today. I mean, is it hard to find the time to put your own health first? It's a bit of an oxymoron in a way. What I'm saying, I'm not suggesting for 1 minute that you're going to ignore other people. That's not what I'm saying. Is that some people get so wrapped up in their own lives that they totally ignore their health. That's what we want to get away from.
I would rather have somebody ignore other people than ignore their own health.
Up to a point, yeah. I mean,
but it doesn't have to be that way in any case, right? You can still just have the communication with your family and other people and say, look, I've got to take care of myself now. And I want you to respect that and understand that. And it's just about communication. That's all it is. You understand? I've had that conversation recently with my family about business. And I've put it down to my 9-year-old daughter that Dad, in the next 3 months, is going to be busier than usual. And I'm going to need to take that time in the next 3 months to look after some things. And I need to make things happen in my business. And there's an outcome, there's a reward for that for her at the end of the day, potentially. So freezing. I keep seeming to freezing.
No, we can still hear you. No problem. So,
so it's not that difficult to have that conversation, but I think unfortunately most people think it's a very difficult thing to do.
No, I think it's about being honest as well. Your communication's got to be high, good. It's got to be excellent. The question is it absolutely essential to focus on staying healthy? And we're talking about everyone here. Hello, we've frozen.
Yeah, we froze there, yeah.
Yeah. Is it absolutely essential to focus on staying healthy? Can you hear me?
But I come from a biased perspective. Because that's always been my highest value. That's always been
Go on, carry on talking, Warren. You're obviously having problems with your. You're obviously having problems with your
I think
signal.
it's my side.
Okay.
Yeah,
I hope we didn't hear you say.
I don't think it's my signal. I think it's
your internet. Well, yeah. No, it did come across. It came as your first priority. Oh, he's gone off now. So I'm on my own. Oh well, we'll carry on. Okay. So putting your own health first might seem selfish to you, but it definitely is less selfish than you might believe. When you put your own health first, you're setting the rest of your life in order, and that's the way I see it. Being a healthy person will allow you to be healthy. All right. Now, there's a lot to health, and it's actually being able to help other people as well. And if you're ill, you can't help other people. It's as simple as that. So Warren's not back yet. So what is being healthy? What does it allow you to do? It allows you to be more productive. It allows a better quality of life. Your moods are better. Your sleep is better, and you feel great overall. Let's just let Warren back in. You with us, Warren?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
I enter via my mobile, and that was taking just as long as my laptop.
Okay. So anyway, what I came on to say was that being healthy, from the mainstay of the household, it would make you more productive. You'd get more done. You would have better quality of life. Your mood would be better. Your sleep would be better, and you just feel better overall. You'll be able to give more to your family. Okay. And the other thing is you'll be there for your family in the future. Not spending all your time being ill and then becoming really gravely ill later on. If you take care of your health, it's going to give you some longevity as well.
This is the irony of modern Western society. Modern Western civilization. This is the irony of it. It's like, you're expected to give it the best that you can in your in your productive years, but there's no, it's like when they put those, Toyota are very famous for doing these long distance tests on their cars. They produce a car, they put it out on the track, and they drive it until the thing collapses. And this is how we've become for the most part conditioned to believe we should be. Put out everything you've got, exhaust all your energy, all your resources in your 20s and 30s. And then by the time you reach your 40s, you're almost depleted of everything, And then now you got to start looking after your health, because your health has been neglected and abused for 20, 30 years. So it doesn't make sense. It really doesn't make sense. You need to be selfish for your own health. It's important.
Yeah, I think all I can say is at my age, should I give my age? I don't know. I'm old. Anyway, so with my age, I've paid attention to it, and I'm now reaping the benefits of that. That's all I would say.
Yeah.
Now, was I the person bringing my kids up home? No, I wasn't, because I was working a lot of hours and doing overtime and things like that. And someone had to do it, and it just happened to be me. Could I have done a great job with the family? I don't know, because I've never tested. Probably, maybe, I don't know. So all I know is full respect to the person who stays at home and looks after the kids. That's all I'll say.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely, and you've got my full admiration, whether you're male or female.
And any single parent here,
yeah,
muchos respect.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's switch it around a little bit here. Now, so if I say, say that you were interviewing someone and I was your interviewee, right? And you'd ask me about health. Now I said, look, I know it's important to put my own health first, but I literally don't have the time to be healthy. What would you say to them?
Show me your top 3 priorities in your life, and I'll tell you I'll tell you whether it's about time or not.
I like your approach. I would say make time for it.
Yeah. You can't make time. You can only do with the time that you've got.
Yeah. You in other words, what you do, you do more with the time you've got, or change things around a little bit.
Yeah.
So you make sure you get these things in it. And to be fair, it's not. You could do everything in an hour a day. In theory, that's good.
Paul, I just shot 2 workout videos now. Each one of them was less than 30 minutes in time. Okay, 2 workout videos. And that's going to get anybody's body moving, burning fat, increasing their heart rate, increasing their strength, increasing their blood flow, oxygen flow in their body. They're doing flexibility. They're doing all kinds of stuff. Okay, within 30 minutes of a workout done. There is no real excuse from a time perspective. There is no real excuse.
No,
that's why I said, show me your top 3 priorities, and I'll tell you whether it's time or not. Because if your other priorities are other things in life, then it's not a priority enough for you to look after your health. Your health has to be first and foremost, or at least the very second one. Some people, let's say, for example, you take a red-colored person, an alpha person, okay? Their primary driving force is success and money and stuff like that. So you say, okay, well, then you got to put your health second. You understand? If it's let's say,
we lost you.
You're
back again. We lost you again. Sorry.
It's more about relationships, and it's more about
we missed the bit you said. We got the red bit, but we missed everything else after that. So who are you referring to now?
No, like let's say like a blue individual who's more about relationships and things like this. Then you're going to say to them, okay, take care of the family, but your health has to come second.
Yeah.
The health it's imperative, because we only have this one body to carry us around.
That's right.
We don't have a second choice, do we?
I heard it mentioned the other day. What were they talking about? Oh yeah, you're driving along in your car, and the oil light goes on. What do? Do you leave it?
Yeah, so many people.
Or do you check the oil and maybe change it? Maybe change the oil filter or whatever it is.
Put a little post-it note over it so you can't see it.
Yeah. Done that before. But think about it logically. There is no oil light that comes on for you. So you need to do things every day. Okay. Now, we're two of the type of people that we've got habits that we do, healthy habits every day. And they're done because they're habits.
Yes.
And they're very healthy. Okay. Yes. A lot of people put these things off and, I'll do it tomorrow. And that's not how it works. Okay. Because sooner or later, you're going down. Whether it be 20 years earlier than what you should have done. And I don't mean down in the earth. I mean down as in ill. Okay. We can't downplay how busy people are. That's for some people, that's just the way life is for them. Okay. And we all have the same amount of time in each day. So how do other people find the time to become healthy? Because they do. So what is your excuse? Our principles in life will guide us towards the actions we need to take. And I think that's, very, very important for the individual. So do you make health your top priority? And I know you do, Warren, and I know I do. But we're asking the question to other people here. All right? What do you do in a day that's healthy? And that really is the question you should be asking yourselves. What is your top priority during the day?
And if there is nothing, start with something.
Yes.
And the way I look at it, that there is no tomorrow until tomorrow becomes today.
Yeah, and it will come quickly. It will come even quicker if you don't take care of some things.
Yeah, it's a slippery
absolutely.
slope.
It's like, see how long you can go without drinking water.
Yeah,
it's not long. I'm sure some people have lasted a week even, maybe, but it won't be much longer than that. Some people only last 48 hours,
Well,
96 hours.
I look at people that fast during Ramadan, okay, and one day of no water, and they got headaches and all kinds of stuff going on. So yeah,
unsteady on your feet.
yeah,
You're going to become dizzy. You lose balance. Everything.
It's really not difficult. It's all it is just a matter of creating a priority in your life, and then once you've created a priority in your life, that if that priority is your health and turning your health around, then you need to just take small steps, one step at a time,
Yeah, definitely.
and start creating some belief in your life about your own health, because that's all a belief. A belief is just taking an idea and practicing that idea over and over and over again until it becomes a belief. And once you start to do something like that, and it doesn't have to be everything all at once either. This is also what I tell my clients, you don't have to do everything all at once. Don't expect that. You're going to start implementing 1, 2, 3 things at a time maximum. And then then you slowly build that momentum thereafter.
Yeah. I mean, most people's priorities, what do they normally be? Let's think family, work, maybe taking care of the home and house. Could be working from home, of course. Kids, homework, that type of thing. Hobbies. Right, the last bit is health.
Yeah.
I mean, really, health should be up there with the family.
Yeah. Well, I'd say in many cases entertainment is above health.
Absolutely. Yeah, I agree with it. Yeah.
If you think about it, people put more planning into weddings and holidays and stuff like that than they do for their own health. Yeah.
Just think, if you're healthy, you can actually watch more of the box set episodes. Because you can stay up longer. No, I'm only joking. So, okay, look, there's no magic pills here. There's no hidden secrets. It's health should be your priority, and then you can enjoy everything else that goes along with it. And you know the drill, right? And it's the same things we say all the time, and most people still don't do it, mind you. That's 7 to 8 hours of good quality sleep in the night. You do not understand how that controls everything, or nearly everything, And if you can add in 30 to 60 minutes of exercise during the day, right, get some movement, whatever it may be, could be just going for a nice walk over in the forest, or the nice scenery and things like that. That could also be with a child in a pushchair.
Yeah.
Right. So
if you have a dog, make it a habit of taking walks with your dog.
Yeah.
Go for runs with your dog. Take your dog for a run. Dog's probably crying for a run and hasn't been for a run for years. Take your dog for a run.
How many of you have 3 healthy meals in a day? Okay, now it can be split up. We're not saying it has to be 3 set meals, but because you can still, there's lots of little things you can do, like what you were eating just before we started, Warren?
Dates, coconuts, shavings, and walnuts.
Okay, there you go. And that type of thing could be part of that.
And that's just to give you an example, put you in the picture that as I said, I've just completed 2 workout videos, and I knew I needed to eat something small before the podcast so that I'm not starving by the time the podcast finishes. So I just have a small snack like that. Yeah.
What I had was I had porridge and chia seeds. Ooh. Chia seeds are great. But I don't, because of food combining, I don't, unless I've got blueberries, I don't have anything with my porridge. Thanks to Warren. And but half an hour, 45 minutes later, I'll eat a load of grapes.
Yeah, good.
And things like that. And they'll be separate from everything else.
I'm glad to hear you're not having your grapes with your oats anymore.
And that's just to prove I listen. All right. So and then the other thing you've got to do is take care of yourself. Quality time, whatever that may be for you. It could be anything. Reading, could be anything. Whatever you want to do, just chill out for 40 minutes a day.
And this is also what health is about. It's not just about physically being active and sweating sweating buckets and getting your heart rate pumped. That's not what health is. Not just about that.
Yeah.
That's a great part of aspect, an element of health, but also health is your peace of mind as well. So if you need to get out and go out into the bush or the forest or the beach for 20, 30 minutes a day, just to get some peace and quiet and some tranquility for yourself in the garden, maybe, or park, whatever, you do that, but make sure you do it regularly as well. Don't do it once in a blue moon. No,
that's right. Look, it might seem selfish to have all these pointers that we're saying to implement into your life, but you do them one at a time. It's no rush. You can do it, but they are essential if you want the best quality life that you can get, and the great thing is the kids are watching you doing it a lot of the time. If not, then you can introduce it to them and make it. It's like you see some kids and they're given carrots and other raw stuff to eat, Yeah. I never dreamed of doing that when I was a parent. Not I'm a parent now, but what I'm saying is I never dreamt of doing that. Okay. Because I was always at work. So I didn't really go down that route. But now, people are given Mars bars.
Oh.
A lot of them.
Oh, yeah.
Would you rather your kid eat a Mars bar? Would you rather eat some raw blooming veggies, like?
And when they're young, they don't know. They will eat it.
They don't know.
When they're going to eat it.
That's right.
Yeah.
So, my son, he hasn't got a sweet tooth at all. He'll have an odd bit of chocolate and that. But then again, he doesn't eat raw vegetables either. So I'd like to know what he has. I don't know. Be interesting to find out.
He doesn't have to have a sweet tooth to be unhealthy as well, Yeah,
I know. But we've got to be a great example to follow. We need to teach it, whether it's just by what we do or to physically teach it, to them. So they've got a great example to follow. We need to do in-quality and we need to maintain balance. That's the other thing. So we're not doing too much of one thing and not enough of another. So we need to make time for ourselves. You have to do it. It's very hard to say no to people. I talk about this when we talk about entrepreneurial stuff. You have to learn to say no. You can't do everything.
Yeah, but this is also the key factor is that which I was going to bring up, and you just enabled me to bring that up sooner than later, if you don't mind.
Absolutely.
But, when you say sometimes we need to say no, and it's hard to say no. This is another key factor, which leads to it's important to get your family on board with this. If you're a mother or a father that hasn't been taking care of their health and you've got a family that live with you, then it's important to say to them, look, mom, dad is going to be doing this now and I need your support. Because if the family is not giving you support, then you're not going to, it's going to be very quick that you're going to fall off that wagon. And then you're soon going to revert back to where you were before because you feel that you are swimming upstream all the time. You're the only one that's sitting there having, rabbit food, okay, which is not necessary, by the way. Hey, okay, you can still eat pizza and still keep your fat levels down and your body healthy, but it's all about balance, okay, and you might be the only one that's doing this and the rest of the family are eating KFC and this and that and all kinds of stuff because that's what they're used to eating. So it's going to be very difficult for you. So it's important to get your family on board with you and support you on that as best as possible.
Yeah.
And then this is where the example for the kids really kicks in, because when the kids see that and they see the bravery that you present to them, the bravery that's coming from you to do this, to make that change, it's going to be an example for them, for the future for them in their lives. They're going to look at making changes as not something that has to be so fearful and stressful and all that kind of stuff, because you want to enable yourself and them at the end of the day.
Absolutely. Look, the bottom line is you have the power to take control of your future, your life, and especially your health.
Yeah.
Do you agree with that? Yes. So, look, we all need to find time. We need to play with time to mold it to how we really want it to be, and it could be that you might have to follow a strict schedule or find a routine that works for you. And I would say to everyone, keep tweaking that till you find something that works. you know, and then keep on top of it, because it's so easy to let it go. You know, the way life is, it's hectic, isn't it?
So much easier just to let those things go.
Yeah.
And this is it. It all stems down to that. It's just repeating these thoughts in your head. These become practices, which then.
Oh, we've lost you again.
Become habits.
So,
strict regimen.
Yeah, Warren, we lost you there for a little minute. Just that little bit you did. Can you just sort of repeat what you just said?
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah, depending on your personality. Oh, it's freezing again. Can you hear me?
No, go on, carry on.
Depending on your personality type, you may need to set a strict regimen for yourself in order to keep you in check. And that's not something that's. Can you hear me?
Yes, carry on. Yeah, go on.
That's not something that's going to necessarily last for the rest of your life, because once you created that habit or those habits, it then becomes part of you, and you will inherently make sure that never leaves your side, and it just becomes who you are. But in the beginning, you may just need to create a strict habit plan for yourself, and then it will become malleable and pliable and amoebic as you move on through your time frame down your journey, where it just becomes part of your life without necessarily thinking too much about it.
Yeah, you frozen again? No, you're back. You're okay. Look, everything, you can schedule everything from the second you wake up in the morning. And that may sound a little bit draconian, but it's much easier than you think it is.
Yeah.
You know, it's not, you lay everything out in front of you, and you can see what you want to do during the day, you know, and I think that's very, very important as well. You know, taking control of your health comes down to you at the end of the day, right? It's a choice.
Because there is only you.
That's right. It's a choice. You're either healthy or you sabotage yourself, you know, and we don't want to sabotage ourselves. So will you put everyone else first before yourself, or will you sacrifice some things in your life to put health at the top of your list? These are choices you've got to make for yourself. Nobody can make them for you. So will you use time as an excuse and find the time during the day, no matter what, and put your health first? It's up to you, you know. You don't, you know, it's up to you what you do there. But remember, it comes down to you at the end of the day. You're the one who has to live with what you're doing. It's that your health is that important. Seriously, you know.
It's that simple.
Yeah.
It's really not complicated.
No, it isn't. At the end of the day, look, you control your life, you control your time, you control your stress. Believe me, you control your stress and your health, right? So if you don't like where you are at the current moment, change it. You know, as Jim Rohn used to say, you're not a tree. So make the time to learn, to say no, you know, be more selfish and put your health first. And that means if you put your health first, it just means you're also going to pay attention to your children and things like that.
Sure.
Right? Because you're going to be more aware of it.
Yes.
Right. You'll have a little bit more control over it if it's in the forefront of your mind.
Your consciousness will change. So, yeah.
Really. Yeah. So with that, I think we've killed that subject. Yeah. Time to go. So, look, if you need any help with your health, there's lots of aspects to it. Please reach out and speak to us. You know, have a fantastic day. Have a brilliant rest of the week. Right. And all my week is lovely as far as I'm concerned, because any minute while I'm breathing and smiling and bouncing around is great. I'm now going to go off and referee a football game.
Fantastic.
Yeah. And another lot tonight as well. So right the way through the rest of the day. So
well done. Good for you.
Have a great day, everyone. And we'll speak to you soon on healthylife.tv. See you later.
Bye-bye, everybody. Look forward to hearing from you.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.